Hi everyone, this is Anastasia here with my podcast Sex, Love and Spirituality, and today it's episode 7 and I'm here with my good friend Kate and we will be talking about dating. Hi Kate, welcome on the show.
Hi, thank you.
Thanks for being here. It's not the easiest topic to talk about, I guess, for most of the people, but I know you're brave enough to do it. So Kate, you've lived in several countries. So how is dating different from one country to another?
Yeah, right on the spot, yeah.
Yeah, right there. We go straight to the point.
Indeed, this is a very interesting topic, and you and I will talk a lot
Yes,
about
we
it.
do. As single ladies out there in their 30s.
Yeah, very hot topic.
Yes.
And having had this international experience, I think indeed there is a lot we can discuss and hopefully share with the larger group because everybody is struggling in different ways.
Indeed.
So that's a very complicated question, so I would say, because in essence, I think dating is not so much different. Yeah, there are some basic rules that are the same across different cultures, countries, but I personally have noted some patterns that based on my experience, I can make some, maybe not conclusions, but I can just share experience. I just wanted the disclaimer. That doesn't mean that it's always like that.
Yeah, obviously.
It's not their official research.
Yes, it's just our personal experience.
Yeah. Because of course there are always the exception. I think it's very important to keep an open mind, which I always do. But I can start with my experience in the States, for example, where I spent 4 years. And there, of course, I had a lot of culture shock there. And also when it comes to dating. So this is when I realized that when you meet with someone, when you show the interest, or when you start holding hands, or I don't know, when you kiss somebody, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you're together.
Oh, really?
Not necessarily. Yeah, because there are different stages of relationship, as I was explained. So first, you just meet someone, obviously, then you can start hanging out.
Oh, yeah, they love that. Hanging out.
Just hanging out. Then you go to the next stage, maybe seeing each other.
Okay, the difference between hanging out, seeing each other. Okay,
yeah, so it's a little bit more serious, but then it also means that you can see other people. Unless you had this conversation, the talk about having exclusive relationship. Yeah, and then after seeing each other, you can go to the next stage, dating. So when you're dating someone, you can assume that it's a little bit more serious. But then there are also options if it's a exclusive relationship or open relationship. So it's also good to talk about that. Then after that, but at this stage, doesn't necessarily mean that you can call each other boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh, really? When you're dating, you don't?
No, yeah, it depends.
Okay, see, I'm learning something new today. Okay, wow.
And then when a boyfriend and girlfriend, yeah, this is like formal, conventional, and it's accepted. What was your experience? Like, I don't know.
Well, I've been dating. Mainly, like I started my dating life in Russia, and then I was on cruise ships, and we had people from all over the world working there from like 60 different nationalities, and it was also a bit different there. Obviously, it's a confined space, closed environment, so it's very concentrated there. So there you probably skip the phases of seeing each other and hang out, or okay, you maybe start hanging out and then boom, you're already dating.
Yeah, just much quicker.
It's much quicker because you're on the same ship, in the same walls 24/7 basically, and you work every day. So there it happens much faster. I would say we skip a couple of phases definitely, but I think it's a good idea, as you said, to talk about from the get-go, from the beginning, what is happening here, like who are we, what do we want, even if it's something not serious and you want it exclusive, or if it's open. Yeah, it definitely has to be spoken in advance, because when you're waiting with the talk, some misunderstanding can happen and some problems can occur.
Yeah, there's the tension that's building up because you get frustrated because the expectations are not met and the person has other expectations. So if anything, my American experience really taught me to talk openly about it and not being afraid of this because there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, you just understand if your expectations match or not, if you are okay with this or not, so that you can enjoy your relationship together.
Exactly, and you can avoid any frustration or bad experience. Yeah, the same, my dating life on ships taught me the same, that from the beginning, right away, I tell what I want, what I'm looking for right now, and if the person agrees, great. If he doesn't agree, bye, next. So that's how it is for me. So yeah, communication is the key, and I would actually have the talk, I think, on the very first day. I wouldn't wait. I would go and say that's what I'm looking for, and then tell me what you're looking for, and then we can decide. Just to avoid any frustration.
Yeah, absolutely. But it also means that you should know for yourself what you want. And sometimes that's also a very big question that you don't know what you want, right? I don't know if you know what I mean.
Of course I know what you mean.
Sometimes you're not sure yourself. You don't have this talk with yourself first, and you go into the relationship assuming that maybe hoping that the person knows what you want. So I think that the first rule is really to be honest with yourself and to be clear with yourself.
Yeah, definitely. That's the first step, girls. Know what you want. Normally, actually, I have no issues with that. I normally know what I want. Maybe I think I know what I want, and maybe what I need is totally different. But anyways, know what you want, and then be open about it when entering any sort of relationship. Talk about it. By the way, talking about relationships, you were the first person to introduce me with the term situationship. I don't know if all of you have heard about it. Maybe it's just me, old school, but you've mentioned it to me. Can you just explain what it means, situationship?
Yeah, that's a new trend apparently, and
not that new anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
It's been what, like 6 months or so,
Yeah.
This kind of stuff.
Maybe even more. It depends, I guess, on where you're from. So we have those like traditional relationships, right? We have open relationships. We have friends with benefits. I think we know what it means more or less. The situationship is something based on the situation. There are also different interpretation of what it means online, I think. But in my experience, of how I interpret it, is that what we are friends with benefits. You are friends in the first place. So you share a lot of common interests, and then you
can go to the movies, you can have pizza together, have maybe mutual friends, right?
But then when you go into the situationship, it's like you're not necessarily friends. You don't need to hang out. You just, if you happen to hang out and do something together, that's great. If you don't, you don't. It's not like you are continuing to have this ongoing communication and relationship.
So you don't need to keep the fire going, let's say. So you don't need to text each other every day. You don't need to see each other, I don't know, twice a week. So it's whatever happens. Like if I'm free tonight, I'm writing you, are you free tonight? You're free, boom. We meet, right?
Yeah, that was a very interesting experience. And
you've had that?
I've had that, yes. So this is how I realized, I was thinking, what's going on? Like, we're not really talking, but then when we meet, we talk. And then something happens or not, so it depends. And then we don't talk again. Then a month later, we can again talk again and meet. And I was doing, And then I saw this reels on Instagram talking about, this is what it is. This is situationship based on the situation. But then I think it makes it easier when you put the label on it, so you know what's going on, and then you can make a decision if it works for you or not. And I thought that it doesn't work for me at that moment.
Yeah, definitely that wouldn't work for me as well. Like, I need to understand what's going on. I'm a bit of a control freak, so I like to have a control of what's happening. And here you have zero control of what's happening. You're just like played by ear. That's not actually my style. So situationship is definitely not for me. And but if it works for someone, great. And as you said, if you put a label on it, if you understand what's happening, you can treat it in a calmer way. And you can understand if it works, because it can be a different stage in your life when you want different things. and that's totally normal. So if you want something like that at this point, great, but just talk about it again. Have an understanding.
Yeah.
Great. And what are the ways of meeting new people these days? Like, how do you meet guys?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. I think you can meet men everywhere, right? So they're everywhere.
But it's mainly online these days, I would
These
say.
days, yes, actually. And I was thinking a lot about this, that in a way that's a little bit artificial and fake the way you made it. But then on the other hand, it's easier because when you meet a guy, let's say in the park or some event, you never know if he's single or not. But if you match with someone on the app, you assume it's not always the case, that there is a higher chance that he's single. So it takes off this pressure that, this awkward moment. So they have a girlfriend, a wife, especially nowadays, there's also an ex-wife.
And kids, Yes, I agree with you. I would say maybe this old conventional way to meet somewhere in a bar, in the street, in the park, it still exists, but it feels like it's less and less. So mainly all the people I know, they basically go on Tinder or any other Bumble, any other apps to meet people. And why is this happening? You know, like what has changed? Are people more shy these days to meet in person? To go and approach the girl and tell her, hey, what's up? Let's have coffee.
I think a lot of things are happening, and the technological revolution happened. The internet happened.
To start with that, yes.
And I think that it really facilitates a human relationship. So those people who are outgoing, extroverted, who don't have any problems and have enough confidence to approach anyone and just to meet both men and women, they do this. They still do this, although it's so rare that every time it happens, oh wow, you're unique. Because it's so much easier and safer to do so online. So I think it's really beneficial for those more introverted that they are more in the game right now because they have the safe environment to really express themselves without necessarily being having this fear of being rejected right away. So that's great for them. But I also think that for me, it's a little bit artificial.
Yes, I agree with you because you don't feel the person. You don't feel is there an actual connection? How can you know by the picture or by a text messaging? Like I cannot. But the moment I see the person, the same second, I guess I know if it's going to happen or not, if there is a connection or not. But with the pictures and messaging, I cannot. That's why I hate long text messages. Actually, I prefer to meet right away with the guys. Tell them, let's go have a coffee.
And that's what psychologists say, that you make the conclusion whether you like the person or not. Like you feel the feel for this person within like 3-5 seconds. I think that's maybe even shorter.
Yeah, I don't know about men, but women we do that for sure. Yes, you know right away. Definitely. So you need just to see a person once, but then unfortunately it comes with the fact that there are lots of not so nice dates, lots of disappointments. So some of my friends say that they have another strategy, so they have long conversations for several weeks maybe before they meet with someone. Or one of my friends, she actually likes to have a video call. Then in this case you don't waste the time because for you need to go on a date, you need to get ready for it, you need to find the time in your busy schedule. You go, and the same second you understand it was a mistake, but then you don't want to be rude, you want to be polite, and you still spend some time. So it's kind of a waste of time, waste of your energy. But I don't know, like for
I've done it actually.
You've done it, video calls?
I tried this. At some point, especially when I was super busy with work and I really didn't have much time to really go and experiment and be frustrated. I really wanted to have a good time. So I had to ensure that this person, at least I would enjoy the evening, let's say. And I started doing this. I started having video calls, and sometimes, I had the conversations don't go anywhere. So why wasting time like preparing yourself, making sure I look nice, and then going somewhere. So that was, I easily decided with the video call. But I'm a little bit like you as well, that I don't really understand by texting what the kind of person it is. I sometimes feel like I'm not even talking to the person. I'm talking to not the chatbot, but I don't. I'm feeling this like human aspect to it. So I always try to go and meet the person right away, and then in my head, this talking before we meet is. It's nothing. Yeah, I don't count it at all. Yes. I even don't remember the information they share really much. Because I'm more focused on the real life interaction. Exactly. And then the moment we meet, so sometimes we meet in the park, sometimes we meet in the cafe. This is where I think, okay, this is how we met. So that's also a good story. Yeah, we didn't meet on the app. We met in the park. Right?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, actually, some people are kind of shy to say that they've met on the app. I don't think there is something wrong about it, especially these days when most of people meet on apps. And sometimes you can really meet good people and have really strong connection, strong bond with this person. Like actually, one of my best friends, she met her future husband on Tinder. So he just installed the app. She was the first date for him. And as soon as they had this first date, he deleted the app. And then boom, since then they are together.
The same story. And there are a lot of success stories. People get married and they're happy.
Yeah, why it's not happening to us? That's my question.
Well, it's not in the stars.
It's not yet. Not yet. But there is still hope. But although sometimes I think the more you go on dates, maybe the more you lose your hope that this person is out there. Obviously, I don't want you guys to be pessimistic about it. Dating, it is exhausting. It's a lot of hard work, but it pays off. It pays off eventually.
I think it also depends how you view this. Yeah, if you focus on the goal of finding your second half or a partner, whatever you call it, then yes, that's the hard work is like for nothing until you get to the result. But I try to focus on the process, on the journey more, because
that's a good tip.
That's the life is the journey. And whenever I match with somebody or meet someone, I actually sometimes meet people face to face too. So that happens if you go to some social events or concerts. That's still possible. But the online dating is just another option that increases the chances. Yeah, increases the pool, so to say. And I really like it because there you can meet people from very different walks of life. Those who you would never meet. It's not common friends. They just do very interesting things. Like once I met someone who is traveling around England checking the oil tanks. Those machines, and what kind of job is that? I didn't think there was a job like that. And another one was a Lego designer. He was doing workshop with kids to check how they like the new products of Lego.
Oh wow,
that's an amazing job.
Fun job.
Yeah. So I think I got off track. So what I was saying that whenever I match with a person and I go on a date, I'm first looking to really get to know the other person, and I'm interested in the way he lives life, and also I'm reflecting how it makes me feel. So sharing this moment, so I learn about another way of living, seeing if we match or not. Of course, I have this at the back of my mind, but also I get to know a lot about myself. If we get into the relationship, it's like for a week, for a month, for a year, it doesn't matter. You learn a lot about yourself, and it's amazing to share it with another person.
Definitely, I agree with you here. You see, that's maybe my problem, because I'm a person of a result. I'm looking for a result. Maybe yes, if you switch your focus and just enjoy thinking it of this dating, not like dating, but meeting new people, interesting people. maybe, yeah, it will get a little bit easier. But then, of course, you always have some weird experiences, strange experiences. I think we've all had them. So can you share something like that? Maybe
long list.
Long list. I know. For me too. So
okay, I'll start with one. So I was in the States there, and I don't know if it's important the cultural aspect and everything. So I found this this guy's profile, and it was written amazingly. So with a lot of passion for life, what he was doing, very empathetic. So wow, this is a very interesting person. So I swiped him right. So we started chatting, and the way he was talking was very typical. Oh, what do you do? What are you doing tonight? Send me a picture. Can you send me more pictures? Can you send me a picture where you're at full height? So really evaluating me already. Although I had the pictures on the profile, of course, I'm not hiding anything. But it was really a lot of objectifying, which can be fine. Yeah, he knows what he wants, what he doesn't want, but it went really against what was written and how his profile was written. So I thought, yeah, that's very interesting. So even though I didn't immediately like the way he talked to me, he didn't want to get to know me as a person or see how we'll match, but only focusing on the looks. So we still met, and I started talking to him. And then somehow through the conversation, he shared that it was his female friend who put together his profile. So this is why it was written like this.
Wow.
It did work. So kudos to his friend.
So you see, sometimes maybe, you should ask your friend to put... By the way, is that important, the profile information? Do you actually read it? Is that important for you?
I do. I focus not necessarily on what is written, but how it is written, how the person positioned themselves. Same for the photos. Yeah, I look at how the photo is taken, what photos he chose to put. And I have a friend, and I live in Turkey, and I have a friend who's really passionate about this, and he's really precise and great. He's now in the relationship, but he loves giving relationship advice to everyone, and he helps to set up those Bumble, Tinder profiles for his single friends. So he says, so he's also a little bit of a salesperson and a marketing. So he believes that this is your selling point, and it has to be perfect. Perfect photos, carefully chosen poses, like which is your work inside, what outfit you should be wearing, what you should say. Because in Turkey, it's very hard for guys to get any matches, as I realized. So as a girl, you get, I don't know, like a couple of thousand matches per day. Guys, like 2-3 per week sometimes. So they really have to work for it. So in this case, I think it is important. What do you think?
Well, to be honest with you, don't want to sound superficial, but for me, the main thing is the looks, of course. And that's what I look at the pictures. As you said, pictures are important. You can see already what kind of person that is. So guys, when you choose the pictures, like I've read it somewhere, for any dating apps, you need to choose like, first of all, your portrait picture so you can see your face. No sunglasses, please, because I don't know how many pictures I've seen that of the guys who have every single picture. They have like, I don't know, 5, all of them with sunglasses. No, we should see your face. That's the first picture. Second picture, full height. So that we can understand like your body type and everything. And then the third picture, maybe about something what you like, your hobbies, I don't know, hiking, traveling, whatever, and so on. So, but those are the main ones. And very often I don't see them. Or, for example, I see pictures of a guy, he's got like 6 pictures, all of them wearing Speedos. I mean, yes, the body is great, but then I get the question, does he have anything else besides this body? You know what I mean? So pictures are important. And then if I like the picture, or if I have doubts, I would say that's when I start reading the profile. If I have doubts, if it's a yes or no, if it's a solid yes, or if it's a solid no. So if it's somewhere in between, I start reading profile information, of course. And for me, it's important also what they're looking for. We need to mention that, what kind of relationship they're looking for. But then, the description is important, and sometimes it's just like so bad, and then right away you have no doubt. For example, when the guy writes there, oh, you have to be of that height, of that weight, your parameters, your size of the clothes or whatever, you have to be blonde, you have to have this and this and this. And I'm like, really? I think she doesn't have to be anything. She doesn't owe anything to you. I think it's more important to write in this profile who you are and what you like, what you enjoy, and then see if you match with the person. If you start with the demands like that, for me, it's a no right away.
It all starts with yourself first, knowing who you are, and then people can make the decision if it matches or not. And then the same he can see on her profile what she is like, and see if he likes it or not, and make a conclusion based on that.
But yes, I would say from my friends who have successful relationship from dating apps, they say that this profile description is actually important. And as I said, so write about yourself and what you're looking for and what you like, and then we'll see. But don't write demands there right away.
And have you seen those where there's nothing written?
Well, of
Very
course,
empty. It's like no effort. Absolutely not. It also says a lot about it.
It does, and then it's a no for me as well. Then it's a swipe left.
But I think it all comes with the experience. I still think I'm not super experienced in this. I have some friends who have more defined strategy. There are specific questions that they ask to see how they react to this, also to check the sense of humor, or to check how they would respond to different situations before they go on a date. I don't have that. I just go with the flow, and I prefer to meet. Also because, I don't know if you're familiar with this term, it's called sapiosexual. They're attracted more to the personality,
brain.
Not to the brain necessarily, but to the person's personality. And before I get a feel of this, I'm not even sure if I like the physics, the physical aspect.
Yeah, we are different. I have to say. But so going back to dating, was there any other unusual experience?
Why don't you go now?
I don't know. It's like nothing comes to mind right away. What I can tell you about is like when I started online dating. Like, because on cruise ships it was easy. It's so easy to meet. You always have people in common. You have one crew bar you go to. Super easy. But when the pandemic hit, that's when I got stuck in St. Petersburg in Russia. And I've had only one friend there, basically. And I'm like, well, okay, maybe I will give it a try to this dating app. Since then, I've deleted it, reinstall again, deleted, reinstall, I don't know how many times, because there always comes a point when I get disappointed with that, or I have some super weird people. Maybe, I will share a story, maybe not about the date, but what they write. I get so many times you just cannot imagine. I think that those guys think they are original, but they are not, because they all write exactly the same thing. So on my Tinder profile, when I moved here to Serbia, I wrote like, show me your favorite places in town, something like that. Why don't you show me your favorite places in town? And like I've got at least 10 messages, almost exactly the same, saying that, oh, what's my favorite place in town? It's my apartment. My bed, my apartment. All of that. So I mean, like, come on. Like, we haven't even met. And we all understand that we are grown-ups and everything, but let's at least keep some game going on, some intrigue, let's meet, let's see how it goes, let's feel the vibe. Because, like, how would you even know if you're gonna like me?
I think this is actually one of the disadvantages of these apps. They're killing this intrigue and the vibe because, if you think about it, when you meet someone in real life, you don't know. You don't know their situation. They don't know if they're looking for anything. So a little bit more cautious. And this like pre-game, it's also very exciting. Like a little bit of flirting here and there.
Exactly.
It's a very important and very nice moment. But those, they write in there because they can be brave. They're not afraid of anything.
Yeah, because they are not face to face with
me. They can say anything, and they want to get their guarantees that this will happen. I've also had this a lot. Sometimes we just, we'll meet somewhere in a restaurant, but then the guy will say, but you'll come to my place after that.
Oh, what?
I said, okay, what has happened? And then I was super curious, like, why is he saying this? Like, what happened to him that he has to know if we go to a restaurant or somewhere that the girl will necessarily go to his place? And I have to make this decision now before I met him, before I see him. I don't know. Maybe I could, but not before I meet you.
Exactly.
It's like, what is kind of insecurity it is? And what he said is actually that he's been on so many dates. So when he goes to the restaurant with a girl, he pays for her dinner. He gets nothing. So he wanted to make sure that he gets something.
Well, I can understand him though, maybe. But then I think he needs to ask questions to himself why he gets nothing. I don't know. Or
well, that means it's not a marriage. What does he want to get? Get a prostitute if he wants to get something. That's guaranteed.
Well, that's guaranteed, exactly. But then at the same time, I understand maybe when it comes to money aspect that he doesn't want to pay. I mean, I had some dates as well when, of course, a man pays for everything, or when they tell me to split the bill, for example.
That's also a very interesting topic. Yes. What do you think about it?
In my personal opinion, I'm obviously Russian, so for me, a man, if the man pays, he shows me I don't know, that he maybe wants to impress me in a way. And plus, for me, if it's a first date, you invite me on a date, it's kind of implied that you're paying. I don't mind paying, no, of course not, and I've done it several times, but like, I get a little bit not a good feeling about it, especially if it's a first date. Then when we start dating already, we are together, we can always split the bill, no problem. But it's a first date. For me, it's a sign of respect, of the fact that this person is not stingy, because I hate men being stingy. That's for me a big no-no. So yeah, for me, it's just a sign. Like if he offers to share the bill, then probably I guess there will be no second date.
Yeah, that's a common thinking. I would say I also share that. Also comes from the culture, but I actually heard another perspective on this, which also makes sense. Like imagine you're a guy and you're looking for someone. You go on a lot of dates. You can become bankrupt if you pay for everybody.
but that's why I normally go for a coffee or for a walk. Yeah, I never go to a restaurant right away, exactly, because then he has to pay. Maybe he will feel uncomfortable. Actually, I always ask, like, do you want us to split the bill? And then I hear what the guy has to say. So yeah, but I agree with you. I understand the man's perspective here. If it's a restaurant and he goes on dates, like, I don't know, once a week or twice a week, then yeah, you can go bankrupt, obviously. But yeah, for a coffee, I think,
And I think it's a lot, it depends on the culture a lot. Because in Russia, that almost goes without saying.
Yes, definitely.
Although now I think it's changing a little bit, but mostly, yes, same in Turkey or in Arabic countries, men always pay. And that's how it should be. They don't even, which I really like, is that they don't even create this situation where you have this awkward moment, you don't know when to pay. They just take care of it. That's amazing.
Yes.
But being an independent woman, and, having traveled a lot, having faced and seen a lot of different ways of doing that. Also in the States, you always split the bill. So I somehow learned to do this, and I feel more comfortable. I felt like if the guy pays for me, I owe him something. That's also a very important thought, not to think like this.
Yes. So I never think like that. I want to tell you, it's a very thin line. I think if he offers to pay for me, I don't ask for it. He offers that. It's his choice. He had a nice evening with me, and I'm sorry, with me it's always a nice evening. It's always a good company, a good conversation. So yeah, that means he wants to pay. I never feel like I owe him anything after that. Because, like I shared my company with you, we had a great evening. Like, why would I owe you anything?
Yeah, unfortunately, I used to have that, but I had to change this way of thinking because that puts you in a very dependable position, which I didn't like. And then quite recently, I have become more comfortable with men paying for me if they offer, if they choose to. I'm also okay to split the bill, but it does feel nice when somebody takes care of you. It's like some kind of gesture.
Yes, it is a gesture for me as well. I have no issues. Yeah, I'm splitting bill, but it's a gesture for me, which I appreciate. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, when it comes to dating itself, I would say I had some awkward moments when I realized that a lot of men, especially over maybe 30, 35, they have really old pictures on dating apps, like 5 or 10 years ago. So when you meet with them, it's almost a totally different person.
I'm afraid I have also old pictures.
No, but like really old, really old. Like I have sometimes maybe also like an old picture, but I look exactly the same. I haven't changed. But for them, so that's a huge change happen. And then he comes to you and like, who is this person? So I've seen that, and I've also seen what I've noticed in Russia and maybe in Serbia as well, that men use filters. Yes, in their pictures. Yeah, very often you can see it like Instagram filters. You know, they post those pictures and then you meet in person, and it's obviously not what it is on pictures. You know how there is always this joke I've seen many times in the profile descriptions. If you're not like on your profile picture, you need to buy me drinks until you look like you are on your profile picture. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, it's been used already too much. But yeah, that's I would say. Actually, nothing like drastic comes to my mind when it comes to dating, at least to the first dates. Yeah. And do you have any
more interesting situations? Yeah, a couple actually. Also, I think it always happens when you move to another country and start dating in another country. And the more further away it is from your culture, the more interesting it gets, I think. So I moved to Turkey not such a long time ago, just a couple of years ago, and people are very different there also because of different religion and the way they behave and also the way they date, because they're a little bit more conservative and religion plays more important role in their lives. Dating is a little bit slower there, so it's okay to take the time to go on a couple of dates to see if you like each other before going to like the next, like first, second, third base. Yeah, which is also quite like
not one night stands, not happening there.
No, they are happening. Yeah, it is happening. Also, actually, about one night stands. So for me, if you they're also different in the standing. So I felt that the one night stand is just when you meet, you spend some time together, you have to spend the night, and then that's it. Yeah,
that's it. Yes.
You don't have any sexual relationship anymore, but maybe you keep in touch. But
I think you don't. Yeah.
No. Okay. I thought that maybe you do. But then I realized that one night stand is when you don't even know a person's name.
Yeah, that could be as well. Exactly. You don't normally.
No contact, no phone number. Yes. Okay. So also understand it. Interesting.
Yeah, not my thing, I would say, but works for someone. Some people specifically want that, but yeah, for me, I need to have a bit of a connection. I would say.
Yeah, me too. That's why I guess I do like prolonged one night stand if I do any. Okay. So back to my experience in Turkey. So that was very nice. That there is no pressure to decide before you meet the guy that you will necessarily go to his place. Yeah, the men usually pay for you. It's always nice. Also a nice gesture. But then it's also a culture that people are very much in touch with their emotions, which is good, great compared to our Russian culture when we're taught to contain our emotions. But then I met with someone and there was a football game, and his team, Besiktas, lost. And he would say, "Oh, I'm so sad right now. and he would drive his car and say, I'm so sad. Okay. And then he would say, okay, you should entertain me, like make me happy. And then, okay, we talked, and we started talking about his work, and something happened. This, I'm so angry, I cannot talk, I'm so angry. He was really getting angry. So, okay. So, a lot of emotions, and I was somehow involved, and he expected me to do something to really change this emotional state, to make him happy, relaxed, to distract him from his emotions. That was an interesting experience.
Yeah.
And I just met him, right?
Right. Wow. That was the first date.
Yeah. First and last.
Yeah. Well, obviously. Oh, actually, I remembered one now, just a date I had recently with one guy who almost didn't speak English.
No.
Yeah. So when we were messaging on Tinder, he would speak. I mean, he would say that his English is not that great, but I couldn't imagine it was that bad. He was actually using his phone. Would Google Translate would say something and just show me the screen. I'm like, well, you realize that we cannot communicate like that. He's like, no, I will learn English for you. I'm like, well, yeah, how much time you need for that? So yeah, that's what I don't understand as well. Like, what do people expect? How you're going to communicate? Because yeah, the looks is important, but the communication is the key.
Love doesn't need a language.
Yeah, right.
Love language. I heard that too, because in Turkey it also has it happened to me, not to my friends.
Yes, obviously. That was a Turkish man as well, by the way. So that's probably their thing.
Well, he needed just the motivation to start learning.
Yeah, he said he will do it for me, but I said like, no, thank you. I'm sorry, maybe I was too harsh, but yeah, communication is important here and now. I've had multicultural relationships, and when you don't speak the same language, when you don't share the same culture, it's already hard. So you at least need to be able to understand each other when communicating, so your English should be really good, because when it's not, that's when misunderstandings happen, and it will make it even harder. I mean, it's already hard, and it will make it even harder. So definitely, you need to be able to understand each other in a very good level.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Also depends what you're looking for. But
well, obviously, but I'm looking for something, deep and meaningful. Yeah. How can you have a deep, meaningful conversation if you don't speak the same language? Then it is an issue.
One more topic that I would like to bring up is ghosting.
Oh, yes.
I think it's happening more and more, and I saw a lot of very funny reels about this. Like maybe you've seen it, like a girl texts something and then the guy disappears. That's very funny.
But yeah.
And it happened to me in Paris. I was last year in Paris, and okay, that's a romantic city. I just want to go on a date. No expectations, nothing. I just want to have a nice date. That's all. So I was texting with people. First, it was really hard to arrange with someone because I was there just for a week. And they were busy with things, travel, vacation. Well, it was vacation period, so I guess they didn't help. So finally, I matched with someone. We agreed that we'll meet by this metro station. Yeah, I was walking there, almost there. I was a bit late because 20 minutes late because I got lost a little bit in the streets. And then I was texting. I was about to say, I'm like 10 minutes, very close. I finally found my way. And then I realized that I don't have the chat anymore in the app.
Oh, he has blocked you.
He just unmatched
you. Yeah.
Just like that, when I was so close.
Wow.
So like, what is this?
Yes, I don't understand that as well. Guys, please, no ghosting. If your plans have changed, if you don't like a person anymore, just be nice, polite, but say it to the person.
Just say, sorry, I'm not interested. Sorry, I can't meet. Sorry, I don't want to do this anymore. That's fine. Just say so.
Exactly.
It was so frustrating.
Super. The worst. Please.
I was just
don't be like that.
It was also very funny. I was just laughing.
Yeah. So again, we have obviously we can share a lot of experiences, but we are limited in time. So let's just finish up. Maybe you have some tips for women out there looking to meet someone special.
Oh, that's a very difficult topic. Maybe you can put more in the comments.
Yes, by the way, please.
That would be a good idea.
Share your ideas.
There are a lot of very different people, very different things that people are looking for. So I think the first step that we mentioned, you really need to be clear what you want, what you're okay with, what you're not okay with. Knowing it ahead, also to recognize those red flags. There are typical red flags, but there also can be some red flags for you. And always choose yourself. Choose yourself, your comfort, your happiness, your peace of mind. Do what makes sense to you, whatever it is.
Don't compromise. So if you've decided you want serious relationship and then you meet a guy whom you like, there is a connection, but he says he doesn't want anything serious.
Yeah, probably he means that.
Yeah, he probably means that. You're not going to change his mind. Just stick to what you've decided. Don't change your mind. Stay true to yourself and to what you want. Yeah.
And I think a lot of times women tend to settle for less because of the fear of being alone, that the age, the clock is ticking or something.
Yeah.
But I don't think it will work in the long run.
No.
You'll just not be happy.
Exactly.
It's always better to know your worth and have faith. Yeah, that you will get and you will have the life that you deserve because you are the person who controls your life.
Yes, and it's better to be by yourself, and you can enjoy. Like, look at us, we're enjoying our lives, right? So I honestly think it's better to be single and enjoy your life than to be with someone and be miserable. I mean, yes, girls, don't settle for less. Don't think that you will change a person. Don't think he will change for you.
No, if he wants to change, this
obviously,
can happen.
but don't expect him to do that. Okay, so know what you want and stick to it and choose yourself. I think that's a very good piece of advice. Thank you so much, Kate, and thank you for having this conversation with me. It was really fun. Yes.
Let's continue it in the comments.
Yes,
I would love to hear what others think because obviously that's just my experience, but it's your experience.
Your fun stories from dates, guys. Yeah, please share them with us and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you at the next episode. Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
You. Bye.